Level 1. Broke. You are broke. Not struggling, not tight. Broke. Your bank account has $47 in it on a Tuesday. You know the exact number because you checked it twice this morning. You have a job. You have debt. The job pays for the debt, and the debt grows faster than the job. You eat the same 4 meals on rotation because deviation is a luxury. You check prices before putting things in your cart. You do the math in your head at the register, just in case. Your credit card is almost maxed. Not from frivolous spending. From the month the car broke down. From the month rent went up. From the month everything happened at once. People assume broke means careless. It doesn't. It means the margin for error is 0. 1 flat tire, 1 missed shift, 1 medical bill. That's the distance between you and the floor. You are not failing. You are 1 unlucky Tuesday away from it. Most people are here longer than they planned. Most people leave eventually. Some don't. Level 2. Paycheck to paycheck. Something changed. You got a raise. A real one. You are now technically above broke. You have $600 in your account on payday. By Friday, it's $80. The months don't add up. The income goes in, and the expenses take it before you can decide where it should go. You have a savings account. It has $212 in it. You've had it for 2 years. You don't touch it. Not because you're disciplined, because you're afraid of what it means if you do. You go to dinner with friends. You order the second cheapest thing on the menu. You split an appetizer you didn't want because it's cheaper than admitting you're watching the total. You are 29 years old. You have never felt financially stable for more than 3 consecutive weeks. You tell yourself this is temporary. You've been telling yourself that for 4 years. The telling is the only thing that keeps you moving forward. Level 3. The saver. You found a system. Maybe it was a promotion. Maybe a second income. Maybe you moved somewhere cheaper and smaller and quieter. Something clicked. You are now saving $400 a month. That number looks small. It isn't. For you, it is the difference between anxiety and something almost like calm. You have $8,000 in savings. You don't touch it. You think about it constantly. Not the spending of it, the having of it, the knowing it exists somewhere and belongs to you. This is the first time in your adult life that money has felt like a buffer instead of a countdown. You start to learn things. Index funds, compound interest, high-yield savings accounts. The difference between an asset and a liability. You consume this information the way a person who is starving eats when they finally find food. You weren't starving. You just couldn't afford to think about the future when the present was always on fire. Level 4. Comfortable. You make $90,000 a year. You have $40,000 saved. You own your car outright. You don't love your apartment, but you chose it, not because it was all you could afford, because it was the responsible choice. You go to restaurants now without running the numbers. You book a flight and pay for it the same day. These are small things. They feel enormous. Comfort is not glamorous. Nobody posts about feeling comfortable. Nobody makes a video about having enough. But enough is the thing most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever naming it. You have named it. You are also slightly bored by it. The financial panic has left your mind, and something new has moved in to fill the space. Ambition. The comfortable feeling has a ceiling, and you can see it clearly from here. Level 5. 6 figures. You crossed $100,000. You remember the pay stub. You took a screenshot and saved it to a folder. You didn't tell anyone. You have an accountant now, a real one, not the software. The accountant told you things about taxes that were a physical sensation to hear. You paid $31,000 in taxes last year. You had not planned for this. You upgraded your apartment. You went on a vacation where you did not calculate a daily budget. You tipped generously, without the math. Money has stopped being the first thought in your head when you wake up. This is underrated. This is what nobody mentions when they describe earning more. It is not the things you buy. It is the silence in your own mind where the financial panic used to live. The silence takes getting used to. You fill it with ambition because silence makes you uncomfortable, and ambition is the only thing you know how to replace it with. Level 6. Millionaire. You have $1 million. Technically. on paper, spread across accounts and portfolios that someone else manages. You expected something to shift, a feeling, a sense of arrival. The number arrived. The feeling didn't. You are still the same person who used to check their balance twice on Tuesdays. The difference is that checking has stopped, but worrying hasn't. The worry just changed its subject. You now worry about keeping it, about the market, about whether your advisor is trustworthy, about what happens if the economy does what the experts keep warning it might. You read about people who had millions and lost them. You study their mistakes with the focus of someone who cannot afford to repeat them. You expected the million to feel like a destination. It feels like the beginning of a longer, more complicated problem. Level 7. Multi-millionaire. You have $5 million, then $8 million. The numbers start to feel abstract. You can't spend it, not actually. You could buy things. But the investments move the number faster than buying things does. The money makes money now faster than you can make decisions about it. You have a team, a wealth manager, a tax attorney, an estate planner who asked you in a quiet office where you want your assets to go when you die. You are 43 years old. You now have a document that decides what happens to everything after you are gone. You sign it. You do not read all of it. You trust the people you pay to understand it. This is what money eventually becomes. Not a tool for living, a system that outlives you. You thought that would feel like power. It feels like weight. Level 8. The upper rich. You have $20 million. The specifics have stopped mattering. What matters now is structure, trusts, a family office that manages the management of the money. You have access to things that are never advertised, a doctor who answers his personal phone, a table at restaurants that have no public reservation system, a travel agent who has relationships with people who have relationships. These things feel remarkable for about 6 months. Then they feel normal. The baseline has shifted. This is the most dangerous part of real wealth. The baseline always shifts upward, and once shifted, it never moves back. You are generous with the people you trust. You are careful with everyone else. You cannot always tell the difference between them. Level 9. The billionaire. You are a billionaire. The word no longer sounds real when applied to you. You have stopped looking at prices, not because you're careless, because prices are a variable that stopped applying to you years ago. What applies now is leverage, influence, the ability to make decisions that affect thousands of people who will never know your name. You did not expect the weight of this. You thought wealth meant freedom. It does. It also means consequence at a scale that ordinary people never experience. Every investment is a policy. Every company you back becomes a vote on how the world should work. Every decision you make lands somewhere in the lives of people you will never meet. You did not sign up for this. You cannot give it back. Level 10. The Dynasty. You are old. The money isn't yours anymore. It never really was. It belongs to a structure, a family, a foundation, a system of documents and trustees that will make decisions long after you stop making them. Your grandchildren will never understand what it means to want something and not have it. You have tried to explain it. The words don't land. They have never checked a balance twice on a Tuesday. They have never done the math at a register. They are good people. You hope. You did your best. The money gave you everything. The money also made certain things impossible. There is a word for what people who have everything actually are. You know the word now. The word is responsible, not free. Responsible. For the employees, the family, the foundation, the decisions that ripple further than you can see. That was the trade you agreed to without reading the fine print. Somewhere, a 22-year-old is staring at $47 in a bank account on a Tuesday. They want what you have. They have no idea what it costs. The cycle continues. Subscribe to stay with us. Every video is another level. And drop a comment below. Tell us what level you're at right now. We read every single one.